Though, yeah, though. What up? What up? It's your boy in the full Merc, the code breaker, man. Right back at it, man. Hope everybody doing good and prosperous, man. Let's start it off with a shout out to you for hanging in there. You know how difficult it is just to be you, just to be black, if that's what you prescribe to. But just the struggles of what it is, man. Mental health is real. A lot of people out here is going through it and they don't know how to face it. And a lot of us don't really got no answers, but we just keep going. So shout out to that. Shout out to you just being here. You know what I'm saying? Um, real quick, we're gonna start it off by today. I'm gonna talk about magic and how it overlays or how it's underlaid in today's reality. How much how much of it is pretty much running the society, whether we know it or not, right? And that's where I'm at, right? I can't help but I was trying to find a way to not even talk about it, like skip it or whatever. My brain just kept hitting that, like, nah, just see if you could do this, see if you could do it, see if you could describe it as best as you can. All right. So we know that we talking about magic. So I'm gonna try to walk, walk, walk. Break it down from starting from a common area and break it in. So there's a few words that we're going to hear that are cross references to, like they're synonymous in one form of understanding, and it transfers into another form of understanding, right? Like a school of fish, and then you got school, like kids go to school, right? So you see how that word, riverbank and a financial bank, right? So that's pretty much where it's at. So the reality that we live in today is moving so fast with all these different mindsets that the land of the free and just the times of people's freedom and consciousness and money and business and ownership and stealing and intellectual and future and all that stuff is being taken care of right now. Is different people, even you and I might be thinking about retirement, life insurance, the kids, the future. You think about your past, like people live through trauma and anxiety and so forth like that. So all this is dynamics that govern the human being, right? So so the magic of it all. When I think about magic, it's there's two forms of magic, right? There's the trickery that comes with, like to see the TV magic, the illusionists, right? Well, illusionists of the year. They start off as telling you, "Oh, I'm a magician," but when they win an award, they win the illusion of the year. Go figure, right? Um, uh, so magic is the controlling of objects or others, right? Without them having a logical course to see what's going on, right? So sleight of hand, I'm shuffling the cards, I'm doing a three-card monte, and I did something because I have been taught how to move in a manner that your eyes cannot calculate, right? So you're trusting your eyes, but I know how fast your eyes receive information. I know how your brain and eyes are communicating. And because of that, I'm doing something in the now that tricks that part of you. And now you're trusting your eyes. So this reality has got into the point where they say believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Because even what you see can be manipulated, right? The part of the illusion is perception. You understand? So there's people amongst us whose biggest functionality is perception. How do I get you to perceive me? How do they see me? What's on their mind about me? Celebrities, politicians, con men, so forth. Those type people tend to worry about that a lot, right? Um, so spells is another word that you think about when it comes to magic, right? Words, language, that control the way you see something, the way you relate to something through these words. So then when you look at the mind, right? For the sake of, I'm gonna put the yin yang up there. When you look at the mind, and it's illustrated via the yin yang, right? It has two dots and it's black and white. The black is the unknown and the white is the known, or white is light and black is darkness, what can be seen and what can't be seen, right? So what I've come to realize is that that black part of your mind in everyone's mind is the God like thing. Your subconscious mind is your God, the God connection. Right? So if you will, let's say it's holding the back of your skull, like it's holding the back of your brain. It's just ever there, always there, never sleeps. It doesn't have the same, it lives a complete opposite of your primary conscious. Your primary conscious is focused on certain things. It can only focus on one thing at one time. It does it at speeds beyond calculation. So when you walk in a room, you see everything so fast, brr, 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 but then you start to focus in on whatever you are focused on. So when adult might walk in a restaurant with your kids, right? Your kids is 18. I mean, you walk in a restaurant and they start noticing what people got on their feed and what type of phone niggas got or this and that. The whole time you looking to see, if this is a safe place, you got different things on your mind. So they looking at drip and all this and who's what and all that, but you're looking for safety. You're looking for, do they got enough spaces, the bathrooms, whatever it is that you might be worrying about. Everybody worrying about different things at the same time, but all these things are ever present. They're always going, they're always flowing. They're different worlds, they're different ideas, they're different perspectives, they're different personalities that are like individual bubbles that are walking around amongst ourselves. That's where we get the concept of the multiverse, right? The universe was supposed to describe the great big all, right? All inside of the universe, right? But as we understand about the universe, we understand about us. As we understand about particle behavior, you understand about human behavior. There's nothing that that we don't there was nothing that we studied and understand that we didn't understand that it applies to the human being in the same way. That's why you hear stuff like the reptile brain and all that, because there's an attribute of the brain that functions just like the reptilian species. And the reptilian species is its own form of intelligence that exists in this reality that we learn from, and we get to see the primal nature of the reptile and all the different intelligent ways it goes about to survive and procreate and live the whole life cycle. We get to see these things and then apply it to self, right? This is what intelligent minds have been doing the whole time. We look at what was given, look at the reality, the environment that we in, and we take cues from that, and plus the way we was conditioned to think and approach the unknown, the great blackness, the world, the unknown, the future, right? So the God presence is always is the God the God essence is ever present with each of us via our subconscious mind, right? So our logical mind is getting cues and sending cues back to the subconscious mind. When you are 0 to, I think they said 9 or something like that, is you're just taking in information. It's probably even, we could probably I think it's, I don't know the exact number, but you could see in a child, whatever classifies the child, 0 through 7, 0 through 9, 0 through 10, whatever, those, that area is just a child. They're weak. They're just asking questions. Their biggest attribute is their eyes and trying it, so they seeing it and they mimic. In that mimic stage, they mimic what they see, they mimic what they hear, so that innocence is the God personified, a fallen angel. It came from nowhere. It came from, like, when you think about a child being reared, being birthed, being the whole process of how you and I got here. It is a magical, something magical about it. Even though science has terminology to describe as much as they can describe about it, there's so much more that we can't describe. You know what I mean? When you look at the particle, when we're talking about particle behavior and human behavior, there's a cross reference there. So a particle, like an atom, just like the yin yang again. So if we could illustrate the atom, you would see it looking like the yin yang once again. Maybe without the two dots, maybe, but if those two dots were there, it'd probably be another energy source that's running in another dimension that has influence on that particle in that particular region, leaving us that energetic frequency of the description of it, right? So if it was the whole atom, That squiggly line that's making the yin yang look like it's half, well, that line itself will be vibrating at speeds that's registering that particular particle as whatever it is. You understand? So we have a piece of glass is moving at a frequency that registers as glass. And we got different types of glass. And we got different types of minerals. We got different types of salt. We got different types of water. You know what I mean? Because of those particles that go into it to make it what it is. But anyway, that particle is more negative space than it is positive space. There's more negative space in a block of gold than there is gold. There's more emptiness in a block of gold than there is gold, right? But in this density that we are in, or the way that our frequency is, when we could grab the block of gold, it doesn't our frequency, and that frequency doesn't allow our hands to just go through it because there's more negative space. We also have that energy that's sealing us off from other parts of the reality, because in order for something to exist, it has to be the complete opposite of its surroundings. If not, it will just be integrated as its surroundings. Make sense? All right, cool. It's all Merc shit. That's how I think. I didn't read that. This all comes to me. This is my gift. This is what I believe is my gift. I'm trying to lose my fear and communicating with the camera. Even if I do lose my fear, I mean, if I do lose certain people, the crowd that I would like to get, the numbers I would like to get, hopefully, um, it would just be for myself, and then you would start to attract others that start to think like me. So this is just a grind. Keep up. It's about magic, spells, rituals. Now, rituals are behaviors that people do over and over and over with a desired result. Some rituals are done by you with a conscious mind with a desired result, like working out, because we're gonna get into shape shifting too. That's another part of magic. You understand? So with men, there's different forms of shape shifting. We got disguises, and we got actual physical, like body mass, gaining weight, losing weight, slimming, whatever, putting attention on particular parts of the body to get it to do whatever you want it to do. Men and women share a commonality on that zone, but there's more masquerading that's allowed in everyday society for women in order to be normal, right? So witchcraft is going to be another part of that too. But let's not skip what I already got written down, because I'm touching on rituals, right? So a ritual are behaviors that you do with a desired result, right? So like going to church on Sunday is a ritual behavior that people do with a desired result of going to heaven, to be forgiven for sins that they're doing now. Maybe not necessarily being forgiven, but to help walk the line that they're walking in, and with the insurance that they're going to heaven. You understand? So that's a ritual. So there's certain rituals that we do as a whole, that came via spells, but came by a word and imagery that lined up with you, that made your subconscious mind pick that limited description of you, and you took that as the entirety, right? So that's when we hear certain people who get knowledge of self say that I don't identify as black, right? Because black will be a limited description. In the reality, black has this type of fight, right? So when you put your subconscious mind, the God, and you call that God black, and you say it's a white man's world, you start to build on the problems that come with a black man. You take on the stress subconsciously of that, right? Because this is how the brain works. If you strap your brain up to EKGs or whatever probes, and watch people running or people exercising, you will sweat. You know what I mean? If you watch different imageries, it does something to your electromagnetics. It does something to your subconscious mind, which is going to have proof on certain parts of the body. You perspire, your heart beats, your mouth water, all different types of stuff can happen to you, because your subconscious brain does not know the difference between reality and non-reality. It's just getting the cues. It's so real. It's so innocent, and that's why it has a guardian, which is your primary conscious, that prevents it from just being food in this jungle, because we got the reptile brain that is here to just take over and procreate. And then we got the mammalian brain that's more like warm-blooded and sentient and this and that. And we got a splash of divinity on it, which makes us creators and a force to be reckoned with throughout this pocket of time, right? So an altar, these are this is I had when I was learning it. I didn't nobody really. I had to watch a lot of shows and keep my ear to the ground to find out this particular definition. Altar is a stage. I guess you could look it up too. I mean, but it's a stage, right? So, see, I don't think the altar in the definition would have said stage per se. It would have said a particular area in which you, like part of your ritual, part of your thing, is that you would designate an area where you would have a desired result of who you're going to communicate, who you're talking to, who you're sacrificing, who you're making this area sacred for. Right, you're sacrificing a space to make sure that your mind is always present, focused. Whenever you see that, you're like, oh yeah, that's for my ancestor, that's for my mother, that's for my brother, that's for my grandmother, that's for my grandfather, that's for whoever is on the other side, right? So altar, but you didn't. Another way of looking at it too is a stage. Keep that in mind. We want to keep that going, right? So, a stage is normally set up in a position where the person that's looking has to look up at whatever is happening, right? So, if you were to go out into the ocean or look at the stars, you got to look up, and that looking up puts you in a state of awe, right? Because you're looking up. When you go to the movie theaters, they see as man understands, man creates. So they could put you, the God, under the same, because we're going against man, or man is going against you, or man is here to help you out, but he's tricking a lot of your God-like things, especially here in this capitalistic society. This is one of the sinister natures that's hidden in capitalism, right? This is pretty much all pocketed into the magic, because you're going to hear a lot about magic on TV. Oh, this is where the magic happens, and they're showing you different uh, directors and different technology and different cameras and different movie theaters in which you can even take the movie in, different graphics, different everything to trick you, the watcher, into believing that it's that much more real. So we could pull that much more emotion out of you. So you could walk out of that joint saying, oh my God, that was so good. Oh my God. You know what I mean? When they killed this person, oh, you cried. Like, your body reacted, your mind reacted like it would really, like a person died. I need you to understand this is very taxing to your subconscious mind, especially when you're a kid and they playing with that, because your imagination, your suggestive mind, all your minds, both minds are equally open, because you have nothing to weigh nothing against. This is why you have to have years of just taking shit in, and then before you get to say, okay, let me play the game now. Now I think I know enough, right? So, and in a growing way, you can look at it like the kindergarten, kindergarten, elementary, high school, university, right? Kindergarten is when you're going to learn about the garden, right? And just the stuff that's in the garden. This is a flower. This is a tomato. This is a banana. We don't eat this one. We eat this one. That's a dog. That's a cat. That's a chicken. That's a cow. So forth. These are the colors. These are this and this and this and that. We're gonna teach you some motor skills and get you acclimated to it. And then after that, you're going to teach you about the elements. These are the things that make the colors. These are this color goes with this. This is the numbers. This number does that. That's a female. That's a male. They come together. They make a baby. And you start teaching you a little bit more. We're putting the elements. The kindergarten, we're showing you how the garden is, with just the natural lay of it. Then we're going to show you the elements of it. Then you're going to go to school. When you go to higher school, a higher form of this is now when you get the a little more, because you're still learning, and now you're clashing. In high school, you start to play with it a little bit more, and then by the university, then you start to understand the universe. You're now being acclimated to how the universe works, right? You start to take on higher education, right? So that's another little way for you to chart it, so you can understand the levels in which I'm trying to say, right? So after that, I got right here witchcraft. Now, witchcraft in English, they say that English is one of the best languages to help in the occult language because it reveals so much right there. It's like it's, this language was because everything is based off occult, off hidden knowledge, spiritual, occult is like same saying the same thing, right? I look at the spirit as easy as this. How did you get to the spirit? Because the spirit is like me saying, I want to know about my great 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 grandfather and grandmother. I know it's probably going to be hard for me to know, right? But I know they're here. I know they were here because I exist, and because the way the energy is set up, their energy, their frequency is still resonating in this reality, and it's a way that we can tap into it. Right, there are different things you can do to tap into it. Now, I was watching a show the other day. I forget what it was about, but it was like some type of space related show, and it was typical space related show. Humans, AI type humanoid robot, and it was venturing out. Was it the Guardians of the Galaxy or something like that? And he was like synthetic, and he was like, yes, every ship has its good synthetic, right? So now, when you look at the reality, there's ways that you can get something organically, right? Like almost like the Kendrick and Drake thing. You know what I'm saying? The Kendrick, Drake and Meek. Meek is writing his own stuff. When he look over and see that Drake is getting help from this person, get help from that person, this and this and that. But me and Drake is competing for similar spots. Right, you see what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, you getting help, bro? Like, that's cheating. Then he went, allegedly the BBL, the nose job, all these different stuff. When Kendrick showing himself working out, showing you that you can get it from working out, not necessarily cheating. You know what I'm saying? So there's a way that you can go about it by putting in a different type of ritual that will spring a different conversation to your brain, which is going to help you have a better conversation with the God in you, which is your subconscious mind. So words create worlds, right? Your personal worlds, your personal reality. Your personal reality is your personality. Your personality is sharing it amongst this common reality. Right? And the way you interpret whatever happens is how you interpret it, how you relate to it, how you see it. Right. So this is where the magic begins. This is what makes life so interesting because you have your own interpretation on what's going on. Right. Even if you're speaking the same language, you have your own trauma, you have your own desires, you have your own internal conversation. You understand what I'm saying? So, I'm thinking about damn my peoples. I mean, like, what got us like this? What got us believing this shit? Like, you know what I mean? Keeping it real, drill, the drill music, the capitalism. When I look at it like this, yo, check me out. You look at big industries, right? Let's go alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, guns, right? Alcohol. Let's go Moet. Let's go Hennessy, right? Coronas, right? Ciroc. You dig? Then we got backwoods, Dutchies, Phillies, Octomos. You know what I mean? And then we got after that we got pharmacy, big pharmacy. Percocet, Xanax, Valiums, Quaaludes, Benadryls, Tylenols, you name it, right? Lean, right? Then we got prisons, right? And you see prisons right there. That's a whole complex right there, right? Then you see what else is another industry? Fashion. This is another industry, right? Where you got European names that's at the top of it, right? And they've been running this shit for however long, right? So when you go into the hip hop music, we say, oh, that's us right there, Merc. No way, that's us right there. We got it. And then you realize that our stars, our celebrities are being used to push there. We are commercializing each one of those industries. You understand what I'm saying? So a rapper would introduce you into the finer clothing, right? So now your son, who never seen a Gucci commercial, never seen a Balenci commercial, never seen a Ferragamo commercial, never seen a Rolls Royce commercial, he wants these things. He never seen it other than Quavo or Soldier Boy or whoever is showing it to them, right? They never seen sex is another industry, the porn industry, right? So all this stuff is being played readily to us. And it was, I told y'all earlier, with us, remember in the subconscious mind, if it's particle behavior mimicking the whole thing, and you see that even though your personal brain, your godlike part of you is the black part of you, that means outside of the reality, you're going to personify the devil as non-white, I mean as non-black, right? This is why Farrakhan then referred to him as the devil, because he's an illusionist, he's a trickster, he's the synthetic in the program. Every good ship, the earth, every good ship has a good synthetic. He's a synthetic, and he will give you all his intelligence, his whole essence is about the synthetic nature. In Greek mythology, we got Thor and the brother Loki, and they come from Odin. Odin represents the one, and then from the one, which is like zero, right? Begins with a zero, right? Um, from that one, it gave birth to the two brothers, right? And Thor is physical. He's creation. He's the truth, right? Loki, a trickster. He's the shadow, right? So the sun, Odin, puts light on something physical, and then instantly his brother, his counterpart, would be there, is the shadow. The shadow is an illusion. It's not. It's not real in this reality. It appears. It has an appearance. It has certain things, but not the whole. It's not the whole thing. Thor represents the whole. That's why it's Thor's might. It's because we're here. We're all here. We all have our own form of existing. What we had to do to get here, right? When we get down to certain aspects of magic, we get into like channeling, like I was saying about channeling into your ancestors, right? The Akashic records, your ancestors, your past, your subconscious mind, your DNA, whatever, however you want to look at it, right? Reincarnations, all that type stuff, right? And when you get into it, everything's a representative, everything's a metaphor, or everything's a representative of something else. So your ancestors live in your body. We got, when you look at the Matrix, this is how my mind worked. When I watched the Matrix, I seen that the machine was coming in through like a brick wall to come into Zion, where the Matrix, where the people lived at. And I looked at the people as little, like microscopic people in this show. Let's say the Matrix was similar to Osmosis Jones, right? And that machine, the sentinel that was coming in, was a virus entering the body. So it's like a microscopic thing, and it's drilling past drilling into your whatever, your bloodstream, into wherever it gotta go. And then the people represent the cells that's about to be infected if this thing make it to this part to do what it needs to do, right? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn. And this is why when Neo was getting plugged into the Matrix, they came and took the bug out of his stomach, right? Then another part, when he was getting plugged into the Matrix, you see the silver stuff going in his face, going out his, because as within, as without, as above, so within. So you are a mirror of everything that's happening. So when the whole to get out, escape some of the Matrix is silence. This is why the Buddhists and all them recommended peace, right? Because the mind creates karma from positive and negative, from ones you can see and some you can't see. And I'm not sure if the word is scotoma, but I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna try to look it up and think that's what is a blind spot in your plan, right? So remember I told you, when you want to look up a word and you're not sure, you look up the word you think it is, the word and the definition you think it means, and then see if you can get it. Because I might have the front word wrong, but I know the definition. So I'll type in scotoma, meaning blind spot on your plan, and then see if it correlates or something else pops up that means that. But anyway, a blind spot in your plan. Every plan has a blind spot. Hence the yin yang having the dark hole, and then the black hole in the white area, and then having the white in the black area as a desire, as a thought, as a dream, as the plan inside of your consciousness. You start to focus on one thing. You say, you know what, I want to gain weight. You know what, I want to get some money. You know what, I want to do this. And that's the thought that exists in the darkness. And then you have to go out into the reality and bring that into this reality. And that's your power, that's your gift, that's the magic. Welcome to earth. Right? So let's not be afraid as a whole family to meditate. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, because we made it all the way here. And that's it, man. It's your boy and the full Merc hitting y'all with a strong yeah though. This part one.